it is time for album number 7.
So crazy.
One thing of note, though, you are doing under 18 shows and all ages shows, especially here in Australia. I'm sure much the same overseas. That means that you're gaining new fans with each record. There's a new generation coming along with each record. What do you think it is about your music that 7 albums in continues to bring in those new fans and continues to grow a new audience?
I don't 100% know. I don't know that there's a way that you can put your finger on what it is that keeps, different generations coming in. I think what's amazing, though, is that there are new fans coming in, and we've also managed to hold on to fans. Yep. I think, it's very easy as people get older. Music becomes less of a priority for people, and a lot of the time people fall back on just what's on the radio or what's going on in the background, things like that. I think a lot of people's taste changes, and it's really amazing for us to know that there are people that have been listening to our band for years and years and are still like really actively committed to being involved, going to the shows, buying the records, and like wanting to be a part of it. So it's great that we've managed to hold on to those people as well. But I don't know. I don't know that I could define like what brings people, like, new people in. I think
it helps that when we write new records and we record new records, we don't do it with like a purpose of, okay, this is going to be our blank record, this is going to be that. It's just whatever we're really feeling honestly is what we write and what we record. So that keeps it kind of more fresh, you know what I mean? And the new record, new material is a good example of that.
Yeah, and especially with this album, I think there was a big, and we're just starting to see the effects of it because it's not even out yet, but I think it's a slightly different sound, and we pushed our boundaries a little bit, and we tried to really grow the band on this one. It felt like the right time to do something a little bold and different. And I think, like Ryan said, those are the kinds of things that keep people coming back and keep new people getting interested, because maybe someone's heard one of our songs from the past and was like, not really for me. But then they hear something from this record and they're like, oh, that's, it doesn't sound like the thing I remember a few years ago, but I'm into this. So it's just ways of reinventing, I think, is what keeps people kind of invested.
Yeah, and I mean, in the words of Matthew McConaughey, there would be a problem, I think, if you kept getting older and they stayed completely the same age. Right. So having that mix is very important. And along with the progression of sound on the record, you're working with a new label, and what has it meant to be kind of changing things up with Fueled by Ramen?
It's pretty crazy that we're with Fueled By, because probably about 10 years ago, maybe 11, we showcased for them down in Florida when we were still probably 18 years old. We drove our van down and, tried to get signed to their label, and they denied us.
It didn't work out.
No, but we've always been fans, and they've always been a label that we've kind of, aspired to be on, and we love their roster, almost every single band they've signed. So to be a part of it now is just, it's literally a dream come true.
Definitely. And what's really great about them too is that we pretty much had like a year of courtship with them. We were unsigned for quite a while, even though we still had an old record out that we were still actively working, and we had a DVD coming out with Hopeless Records. And so there was this really cool transitional period where both labels were working together to make it smooth. And like a lot of the time you don't hear about that happening in the industry. So it was very cool to kind of have this like really sensible and awesome, like friendly, jovial passing of the torch, so to speak.
Especially with labels, it's always
sometimes
people.
but like you get tension there, but it just didn't happen, and it made for the transition to be really smooth, and we got to work on this record kind of in secret as that was all happening, and we were still out touring on Future Hearts and still putting out the DVD, and like all of that looked like nothing was going on at all. So it was great. It's really cool to work with partners that are down for just being good about things.
Yeah, I mean, and the stars don't always align in that way.
No, not at all. We've been there before with another label, but we won't talk about that.
Well, I'm glad that this, and I guess that comes with the experience of yourselves as well. 7 albums in, you can kind of tell when things are going down the crapper before they do.
We've been through most things, so you kind of know what to look out for, and luckily we have not been able to, we've not had to deal with any of those things again.
Yeah.